Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. It's been about 2 weeks or so since my last one. Got a big old stack of goodies here to talk to you guys about today. Also, my mom's gonna pop in with her, special guest reviews this week. But before I get into the first one, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it around on Facebook and Twitter if you guys enjoy my videos. And also, guys, I want you guys all know about Scylla.com. That's one of my favorite movie websites where I get Blu-rays and DVDs at and stuff. And they're having this really big sale right now on, different Blu-rays and DVDs. I'll have a link, for it in the description box. Make sure you guys check them out. But guys, let's get started with it. First up from Scream Factory is a film I've watched many, many times, growing up and loved it. Bought it on VHS, DVD multiple times. I even bought the Boomstick edition that came out on Blu-ray like a year or so ago. But Shout Factory has released it again, or Shout Factory has released the ultimate edition of Army of Darkness, actually the collector's edition here on Blu-ray. You get 3 discs here on Blu-ray. You get the theatrical version, director's cut version, the international cut version, all here on Blu-ray. And if you guys don't know what Army of Darkness is the third installment in the Evil Dead franchise where, Ash gets transported back, to medieval times, with his old car and has to figure out how the hell is he going to get back to his time and place, as the Evil Dead, as the Deadites are after him again in medieval times. I always really liked this film. I'm not gonna lie, the second Evil Dead movie is my all-time favorite movie, the one I watched the most as a kid. But the cool thing is about this new collector's edition from Scream Factory, one, you get the original art that you got on like the VHS and DVDs from back in the day right here, and also you get a feature-length documentary on the making of Army of Darkness with new interviews with Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi's brother, cast and crew members, just, going at it, talking about their experience making the film. Dude, like the making of is actually longer than the movie itself, and it's made by Red Shirt Pictures. They always do the phenomenal job on their Blu-rays, special features here. On the international cut version, you get an all-new 4K restoration of the film on Blu-ray, so it's the best it's ever looked, the international cut version. But it's just really cool that they included, all 3 versions, of Evil Dead on, in this little set here, and not release them separately like Anchor Bay did back in the day, with like different versions, different cuts, and, same thing they did with Evil Dead, releasing it millions and millions of times. But this, if you want to get Army of Darkness and you want like the complete thing, bam, get this one right here, the collector's edition here from Scream Factory. Really, really great release here, man. I really, really loved that movie. And next up over here is from Scream Factory it's also an IFC Midnight film, and it's called Stung, here on Blu-ray. This is a film that stars Lance Hendrickson and Clifton Collins Jr. In this movie, it's about these Paul and Julia. They're these caterers going to this like rich, fancy-dancy, area to put on this party for these people. And as soon as they go there, these bugs keep flying around, and they keep trying to like get the moths off of them and different things until something happens and a dog digs up a little hole in the ground, and all these monster bugs start coming out of the ground. And it's about these 2 caterers and these some of these rich preppy people trying to figure out how they're gonna stay alive with all this craziness going on. It's a really fun 50s style kind of monster movie with modern elements mixed into it, and I really kind of enjoyed this one, to be honest. I always loved Clifton Collins Jr. He was in like the movie called 187 with Samuel L. Jackson, I believe. Really, really fun movie if you guys like those, crazy monster, bug movies coming after you and things, And next up over here from Scream Factory also is something I just had to get, Because I kind of enjoyed the first 2 films in the franchise, and I wanted to see the third, and you get the third one in this pack here, and it's the Human Centipede, the complete sequence here on Blu-ray. You get all 3 films on here on 3 different discs, but I'm going to talk to you guys about the third one, because I'd never seen the third one until I got this Blu-ray set here, and it's kind of a weird movie. Like I kind of enjoyed the first 2, how they went. I don't like the subject matter, but I kind of enjoyed it for what they were. The second one I liked a little bit more, but in this one it's about this crazy warden at a prison. The prison is like kind of going over budget, and the prisoners are like not really behaving themselves. And it's about this warden and his his sidekick friend or whatever, trying to figure out how they're going to control the budget at this prison and, figure out what they're going to do to keep these prisoners in line. And it's them, watching the Human Centipede Part 2, watching the Human Centipede movies at the beginning of the film and going, hey, what if we, make a human centipede out of all these prisoners in this prison and save on food cost and things like that. But the crazy thing is about this movie is that the people, like the warden and his partner, are the crazy doctor guy from the first one and the little guy from the second movie. The crazy guy from the second movie, in here, but they're not playing the same characters as they did in the first two Human Centipede movies. I can't lie. This movie is not as cool or as gross or as like graphic as the first two Human Centipede movies. It's kind of, I don't know, some of it was kind of boring. It felt like the main guy of the film was just, just like yelling, and I couldn't understand half the stuff he was saying in it. It did have some really cool elements to it, like they have Tiny Zeus Lister, also known as Debo from the Friday movies, in here as one of the prisoners, going, I'm gonna get you, like that kind of stuff. But it does have some fun moments and decent gore in here towards the end, but it's not as cool or as fun or as gory as the first two films in the franchise here, a trilogy. But that's the Human Centipede, the complete sequence here on Blu-ray. If you want to get all the films in one pack together with a slew of special features, get this set right here. And next up over here is a film I knew nothing about. I just saw the title. I'm like, yeah, I'll check this one out, because they said this kind of like what did it say on the back here? It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead meets Office Space. And I'm like, oh, I want to see this thing. And it's called Bloodsucking Bastards here on Blu-ray. It's about this one guy working in an office. I believe his name was Paul or something. I could be wrong. He's working on his office job. He's just kind of like, oh man, this is kind of boring, working in a cubicle kind of thing. And there's like his boss has a big meeting coming up, and he thinks he might have this promotion to become head sales manager. And as soon as he goes there, he finds out he doesn't get the job. His job gets to sent to or given to his old foe that he doesn't like, and he's really distraught about it until he finds out that people in his office are slowly starting to turn into vampires, and people are dying, and all this crazy stuff is going on, and it's pretty much him trying to figure out what's going on in his office and why are people turning into vampires. That's all I can really say about the film, and I thought it was kind of fun. You know what I mean? It does have that Office Space kind of, the Office kind of vibe to it, with the kind of like quirky, raunchy comedy, which I like, but like the horror elements to it didn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like the comedy stuff was cool because I like, raunchy, banter between, friends and office workers and things. But like the horror element, it just wasn't flowing with me. But it was a decent watch. It really was. But that's Bloodsucking Bastards here on Blue Rizzle. And next up over here is a film from Paramount. It's a movie I was really super excited to check out because I've been a fan of this franchise for a while, except for the last one that came out. And this is Terminator Genisys, the 3D version here on Blu-ray, which looks amazing in 3D, by the way, guys. And this is, of course, the fifth film in the Terminator franchise, and of course they had the Sarah Connor Chronicles that was on television, short-lived TV show, like 2 seasons, I believe. And I gotta say, Terminator Genisys, the film that came out before this, for some reason, I just couldn't get into it. And I really liked Terminator 3. I really liked that film, but Terminator 2, of course, is the all-time favorite of mine. I just love that movie. I've seen that movie millions and millions of times. And in this one, you finally get Arnold Schwarzenegger back as the Terminator himself, doing what what he does best. You know what I mean? Just doing his one-liners and doing his thing. And I just kind of like how, this film, tackles, shows, like different timelines and how it was in the first film when Arnold Schwarzenegger came back as a young Terminator, to try to, to do his thing, to get Sarah Connor, and how they mess around with the timeline and stuff. It kind of messes with my mind, and just some parts of the film didn't really work for me, like timeline-wise and different other things. I'm like, how does that fit in with this thing? I don't know. It was one of those things, like, I loved it. I liked the film. I had a lot of fun with it. But at the same time, if you watch it and actually, pay attention to what's going on, some of it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. At least to me, it didn't. You know what I mean? It looks amazing on Blu-ray here. And you do get 3 discs on this set right here. You get the 3D one, Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy. And of course, you get a handful of special features on this bad boy. Let me know down below, what is your favorite Terminator movie of all time? I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to say Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But that's Terminator Genisys here on Blu-ray, the 3D.
Hi! Just me again. I'm back, and I just have two for you today, and they're both from Lionsgate. The first one is Little House on the Prairie, Season 7. It's based on a book by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and, it just shows the life of a family in 1800s out in the American West, and it stars Michael Landon. And I remember watching this when I was younger. I really liked it. It was different than the westerns that were out, back then, or when I was younger and stuff. The westerns that were out there, were the shoot 'em up, bang bang sheriff and the townspeople and all that sort of thing. And I mean, this was sort of like it, but it revolved around the family and the farm and all that kind of thing. But it starred Melissa Gilbert and, like I said, Michael Landon and the Greenbush twins, I believe that's what their last name was. Anyway, it was a great ensemble cast, and if you like it, pick it on up. And the last I have for you today, one of my favorites, it's good old Nurse Jackie, starring Edie Falco and Merritt Weaver. I really like both of them. They had a great relationship, and you notice I said the word had. Well, I didn't, there's nothing on the box that says anything, so I'm going along watching all my episodes. And then there's the last episode, and oh my gosh, it was the last episode of this whole series. There's no more. This is what, season 7. And apparently, I guess they knew ahead of time that was going to be it for the show, so, they were able to wrap things up and that type of thing. But she's up to her old shenanigans. If you remember from last season, it ended with her crashing, first helping people in an accident and then ending up crashing her car. Well, it picks up right where it left off. And, she gets, has a problem regarding that. She's put on what they call, I guess, medical diversion program. And so she spends most of the episode going through that program. I mean, she still works at the hospital and stuff, but I don't know. I liked it, and I'm very, very sad to find out that it's over. Shoot. And they ended with sort of a what if, and you're thinking, well, wait, what? So I kind of like that, but I hate not finding out, what happens type of thing. But it's a great show. If you've watched it, you might as well pick up season 7. It's the last one. I liked it. You will too. Alrighty. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, and next up from Disney is a little short film I've been really looking forward to checking out, because I really love the Toy Story franchise, and this is their new short film called Toy Story That Time Forgot, here on Blu-ray. This is like, the third or fourth short film that the Toy Story crew has put out. But the Toy Story That Time Forgot's a Toy Story Christmas special. This one, it's like a 22-minute short film where Bonnie, the girl that owns the toys now, is going on a play date to go hang out with somebody to have some fun. But as soon as she gets there, the boy that she's there to hang out with is really into video games and doesn't really play with his toys anymore. And she sort of throws her backpack, into his toy room, and the toys get, all mixed up with these other toys that are in this new kid's room, battle sores, and these toys don't know they're toys, and the Toy Story crew, like Buzz and Woody and Rex and stuff, have to try to show them that there really are toys. They're not real real dinosaur, real battle sores and things like that, and they get stuck, trying to, teach these guys, what they really are, and like try not to get hurt in the process. I thought this was a really fun short, not as cool as Toy Story of Terror or the one with Rex, stuck in a bathtub and stuff. That one was probably my favorite. But Toy Story That Time Forgot was really kind of a decent watch. I enjoy it, I enjoy the characters, in here, like, Woody, Buzz, Mr. Potato Head, and you get all, of course, the same voice actors that you did from the original films, voicing the characters again in these. And of course, you get a handful of special features on here, and one of them is with the director and some of the crew of the Toy Story, this new Toy Story film, going to Comic-Con to premiere, some footage to the fans out out there. I thought that was kind of a cool special feature that they included into this Blu-ray here. Yeah, guys, well, that's Toy Story that time forgot here on Blu-ray. Alright, guys, and next up over here from Warner Brothers is a film I kind of wanted to see because I love movies that deal with animals and dogs and stuff like that, like Homeward Bound and things like that. And this is their Warner Brothers' new film called Max here on Blu-ray. I believe this is one of those films that kind of sort of came and went at the movie theater, didn't really, do a whole bunch of money or anything like that, but it's pretty much about this dog, who fights in Afghanistan, with his master, and when his master gets killed in an ambush, he gets sent back to the U.S. to his master's, family, and the guy that got killed in Afghanistan, his younger brother has to take care of his dog now, and Max, the dog, is going through mental problems because he's not used to not being in war, and he's just trying to figure out how to have a life in just regular society and things, and how the dog is just not really fitting with the family because he's kind of out of his mind and crazy. You have to kind of watch the movie to find out how everything unfolds. But as soon as somebody comes back from the war that fought with the brother that passed away, the dog starts acting really mean, really kind of crazy, and people don't know why he's doing so, but you have to watch the movie to find out. I thought this movie was pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a tearjerker like I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have tissues and stuff, like I was going to cry like a little wuss, but it didn't do that to me. But I did enjoy it because I like movies that take place in foresty kind of areas, little towns and things like that. I thought the acting was pretty decent by the three young main kids of the film. But that's Max here on Blu-ray. If it sounds interesting to you, give it a chance. And next up over here from Anchor Bay is a film I kind of wanted to see because I love the movie. I love boxing movies like Rocky and things. And this stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Forrest Whitaker, and what's her name, Rachel McAdams, and that is Southpaw here on Blu-ray. In this film, Jake Gyllenhaal plays the character of Billy Hope. He's like the best boxer in the world. He's undefeated, but yet his life is going down the tubes. Something really tragic happens in his life, and then another tragic thing happens in his life, and his life just kind of spirals out of control. He kind of loses his daughter in the system and things, and it's pretty much him trying to get his life back, get his kid back, and get back on the right track. And that's pretty much what this movie is. And it kind of has like a Rocky kind of vibe to it, with like Forrest Whitaker kind of playing the Burgess Meredith kind of sort of part, trying to get the boxer back up onto his feet again. I thought this movie had real emotion into it. Like, you really care about Jake Gyllenhaal's character in here. You know what I mean? About all the bad stuff that's happening to him, and how all this, how he's trying to get his kid back, and you really feel for this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I really like Jake Gyllenhaal in movies now. You know what I mean? Like this one, Night Stalker or whatever. Like, he can really change up his style at any moment. Like, he changed his body. He's all buff and big now, and I know he was really dope in this movie. And this next one up right here from Alchemy is a film I just fell in love with, man. It's so corny, it's so fun, and that is Lavalantula here on Blu-ray. This is kind of like a throwback movie to like the 50s monster movies of the day, and it's pretty much in this film, I'm gonna get into it. Hold on, I just love this movie. In this movie, it stars Steve Guttenberg, Michael Winslow, and two other cast members from the Police Academy movies, all starring in this film. You also get Patrick Renna, who you guys all know from like The Big Green, and he was the catcher in the Sandlot movies. The red-haired kid with the freckles and things. He's in here. Okay, guys, this movie's pretty much about Steve Guttenberg's character in this movie. He plays a 90s action star who's his career is not really taken off anymore. It's kind of going down the tubes. At the beginning of this movie, he just leaves the set of a movie because he says, I have integrity. I can't do shitty movies like this anymore about killer bugs and stuff. So he leaves his set, and as he's going home to meet his wife and kid for dinner or what have you, a big volcano erupts and has lava shooting all over Los Angeles, but also these big fire-breathing tarantulas are shooting up out of this volcano also, and attacking Los Angeles. And it's all up to Steve Guttenberg's character, a 90s action star, to save Los Angeles from these killer spiders and try to get to his wife and kid in time before they die and before the world, just implodes on itself. And I thought this movie was just an absolute fun blast, man. Like, you get the cheesy dialogue in there. You even get Graham Denman, who you guys all know from my videos, movie night videos and things in here, like, you know, as like an army man, and you see him in the background a handful of times in the movie. Graham, you're the man, dude. And I don't know, man, this movie's just a lot of fun with the cool little, like, you know, monster effects of the fire-breathing, you know, tarantulas coming out, you know, shooting you and like turning you into dust and stuff. It's just really kind of a really awesome film. And if you guys see this out there and you guys, like I said, like those monster movies of the day, definitely check this one out. Like if you like Sharknado and, you know, Big Ass Spider and like Spiders 3D, like, get this thing. This thing is awesome. That's all I can really say. Get it. And next up over here from Arrow Video US is the Edgar Allan Poe collection of the Black Cats here on Blu-ray. You get 2 films in this big set right here. You get the Black Cat, and that's directed by what's it called, Lucio Fulci. And you also get Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, which is the one I watched so far. And both of these movies are adapted from short stories or books written by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe back in the day. And the one, Your Vice, you know, is a Locked Room. One is about a guy who's a very eccentric writer, and he likes holding orgies at his house all the time. And like, he treats his wife like shit in front of all these people. Every time he holds a party, they like chokes her and makes her drink all this crazy stuff. Until one day in this little town that he lives in, people start, you know, turning up dead and, you know, getting their throats slit. His you know, one of his maids gets killed in his house, and, you know, investigators are coming over to his house thinking that he might have, you know, committed these murders, but yet murders keep happening in and around this house. And it's pretty much him trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and is it him that's doing the killings and things like that. It's a giallo film, you know, from, what was it, the 70s or something like that. And the Black Cat, I haven't watched it yet, but like, these transfers on these films just look amazing. Like, I popped in the Black Cat just to look at the picture quality in the trailer and things, and it looks amazing. But if you guys, you know, like Lucio Fulci, and I believe the Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key is directed by Sergio Martino. And you also get this set here with a cool, like, really in-depth booklet, you know, on the films and things. But if you're a fan of these movies, I just want to let you guys all know that Arrow Video US has released them in a double-pack Blu-ray set with a slew of special features. Alright guys, and next up over here from Full Moon is the new Blu-ray of, bam, Puppet Master 4 here on Blu-ray. I remember watching the Puppet Master movies all the time. Like, you know, when I was growing up, I think I was like not a kid, but like a teenager when I started getting into them, to be honest. And the 4th one right here, I haven't seen in many years, and I just sort of wanted to pop it in to check out what the picture quality was, and it's just okay. You know what I mean? It's just like maybe a notch or 2 above the DVD transfer of the film, to be honest. On this Blu-ray here, you get an audio commentary track by Jeff Burr, the director of the film, and you also get the Video Zone featurette on the making of the film, you know, on-set footage and things like that. So if you love Puppet Masters with, like, you know, little puppets going around killing people and stuff, it's really kind of cool. And I just wanted to come by to let you guys all know Part 4 is now out on Blu-ray here. And next up over here from Alchemy is a film I just kind of wanted to see because it had Kane Hodder's name on the title. Bill Moseley is in the movie, and you also get Tara Reid in there from Sharknado and American Pie, and that is Charlie's Farm here on Blu-ray. This movie takes place in Australia, sort of like on the outback and things, and it's about these 4 friends, you know, trying to figure out what they're going to do to go on like a little vacation, take a trip or something, and they're like, hey, how about we go to Charlie's Farm, because we heard that there's a legend there, like years and years ago, of this family that lived on this farm that just, you know, went crazy, kidnapped people, and just, you know, tortured them and killed them in their house years and years ago. And, you know, the young boy of the family, the crazy special one, might have escaped years ago, and he might still be out there. You know what? Let's go out there and camp there for 2 nights and see what happens. And it's, you know, they go there and you come to find out, you know, what happens to them when they go, you know, to Charlie's Farm. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was kind of like a cool, like, throwback slasher film from like the 80s and stuff. All right, guys, the last 3 up here from Wild Eye Releasing, and the first one up I have to talk about because I just love it, and that is Cesar Arnaudo's Paranormal Halloween here on DVD. This is the 3rd film in the Cesar Arnaudo franchise. If you guys don't know who Cesar Arnaudo are, they're half brothers. They're kind of like, the Three Stooges in a way. They're kind of bumbling and fumbling, kind of crazy, stupid kind of, characters that you just can't, help but love. And in this film, these two half brothers are asked to house sit for the mayor of their town, or I think it's the mayor, and to house sit to protect their, to watch over this guy's house for a couple of months. But they don't know that the house that they're house sitting for is built on top of a ancient, Indian burial ground. And as soon as they stay there, they start witnessing paranormal stuff. Things are, they start hearing noises and doors opening and closing, things moving by themselves. And it's just what they experience, in this house as they're house sitting. But this movie is just extra awesome because it stars Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp, Tiffany Shepis, Vernon Wells, Sean Whalen, Brink Stevens, Sean Phillips, and me, baby. So if you guys, want to see me and Sean in another movie, check out Cesar Arnaudo's Paranormal Halloween here. Even a special feature on here is behind the scenes featurette that they have on here was shot by Sean and I, from our video blogs that we do. Check out Cesar Arnaudo's Paranormal Halloween. Just love it. Can't wait to see, another Cesar Arnaudo film. Hopefully I'm in it too. That'd be dope. And next up over here is another kind of like straight to DVD horror film, shot on video kind of thing, and that is called Rags here on DVD. It's about this young girl. I believe her name is Alice. Yes, Alice. She's kind of a drug addict. She stays in this like drug den, like kind of controlled by this evil guy that's always giving her drugs and saying you can't go anywhere. And it's her just trying to figure out what she's gonna do with her life. And because she escaped this place once before and had a husband and got pregnant and things like that. But now her husband that she had when she escaped is trying to find her, and it's pretty much him trying to find where she's at and figure out if she's okay and all the craziness that happens because she has a very dark past. Her ancestors were gypsies, and there's like some sort of curse on her. And like where's her baby now? You know what I mean? It's like where's the baby that she had? And you have to come to find out what happens and how she's stuck in the drug den. I kind of really like this one. This one really kept my interest because a lot of these like weird shot on, I don't know if it's shot on video, but like weird kind of like straight to DVD horror films I really can't get into sometimes. But this one really held my interest and I really, really liked it. That's Rags here. And this next one right here is a film I couldn't really get into. The cover of the film is a lot better than the movie, to be honest, and that is called Creeps here on DVD. It's just pretty much about these like two friends like that find out about these murders that are happening in their small town, and there's like a big group of people died, but one body wasn't found, and it's pretty much about these two friends going into the woods where these murders happened to try to find the body of that the police and everybody couldn't find, and all the craziness that happens to them when they go into the woods, pretty much, you know what I mean? And now this one's definitely shot on video. I think it was made by a handful of like teenagers, you know what I mean? Like I think the filmmakers making the movie or actually the kids starring in the movie, you know what I mean? It kind of felt like one of those like really first time directed, first time acted kind of movies that you just make with like a bunch of friends with a camera, on a weekend kind of thing. And I kind of like that kind of vibe to it, but I really couldn't get into it. It was just kind of bad, kind of piss poor, but I can see the love behind it when it comes to the filmmakers doing it. It was just kind of like, okay, that's what happens when you make a movie for the first time, learn from it. But that's Creeps here on DVD. But guys, that's all I have to talk to you guys about today for my Blu-ray DVD update video this week. If you guys like it, like I said, please give it a thumbs up, share it around on Facebook and Twitter, and also check out Scylla.com if you guys are into DVDs and Blu-rays. They're having a really big sale over there right now. Link in the description box with Scylla.com, and I'll see you guys all next time.